Last week, we discussed my top diver watches of 2023. Today, let's talk about the other great releases this year. Now, same as before, we're going to start from least expensive to most expensive on this list, regardless if my store Carrot & Co sells the item or not. But if you do want a great watch to end the year, you can visit us online at carrotco.com, or you can also stop by our store in Flushing, Queens, New York, where you can see our showroom home to 25 different luxury watch brands. Starting with just under $500 is the Seiko 5 GMT SSK019, priced at $475. Seiko 5 has made their own mod watches in an SKX style case. The Seiko 5 GMT has been available for about a year or so, and now there is a new USA exclusive version with a charcoal dial. It has a rotating 24-hour bezel in black and gray, and a blue and red chapter ring for the 24-hour scale. This watch can track up to 3 time zones. It is the same size as the other Seiko 5 GMTs, with a diameter of 42.5 millimeters and a thickness of 13.6 millimeters. It also has a lug-to-lug measurement of 46 millimeters. Now, the watch costs $475 and has a Harlex crystal on both sides. It can resist water up to 100 meters, and it has an automatic GMT movement called the 4R34 with a power reserve of 41 hours. The date is magnified with a Cyclops lens. The watch also has lume on the indices and hands, and it comes with a stainless steel case and bracelet with 5 rows, similar to something like the Rolex Pepsi GMT style, but obviously with a slight variation. And pricing. It's great for travel if you like mechanical watches but don't want to bring something too valuable that you'll worry about. Next, between $500 and $1,000 is the Tissot PRX Powermatic 80 in the new 35mm size. I really like this new 35mm size. The previous 40mm was a little bit big for my 6.4-inch wrist, and it's nice that the 35mm size is closer to the original size from the 1970s, and it fits me better. My favorite dials are the Ice Blue, the new Mother of Pearl dials, and the new Yellow Gold PVD version, the last priced at $825 and kind of resembles a mini Vacheron Constantin 222. Now, the new 35mm case has a thickness of 10.9 millimeters. It still has the Powermatic 80 automatic movement with 80-hour power reserve. It also has a Nevachrome balance spring for anti-magnetic resistance. The watch has sapphire crystal on top and bottom. It shows the time with date. The indices have super luminova for better visibility, and the stainless steel case blends seamlessly into the integrated bracelet. You can also remove the bracelet without tools. And the watch is water resistant up to 100 meters. It's a versatile watch in the $500 to $1,000 price range. Next, between $1,000 and the $1,500 range, my choice again is a Seiko, but this time the Seiko Alpinist GMT. Now, the Alpinist collection by Seiko is loved by fans. It has evolved with large Arabic numerals at 12, 3, 6, and 9. The date window is now between 4 and 5 o'clock, and there is no Cyclops lens, something some people hated. The most important addition is a GMT function. Similar to the new Prospex Diver GMTs, this is a collar GMT style. The GMT and date window move independently in the first position. Now, the new Alpinist GMTs have a water resistance of 200 meters. They have a classic compass bezel that is operated at the 4 o'clock crown, and most importantly, these new Alpinist GMTs have the same size and thickness as the current version of Seiko Alpinist, like the green dial SPB121. 39.5mm case, 13.6mm thickness, and a lug-to-lug of 46.4 millimeters. It currently comes in 3 colorways: a black dial, blue dial, or a limited edition silver dial with cream indices. The silver dial one reminds me of something like the Rolex 16570 Explorer 2 Polar, but anyways, it's a great GMT watch under $1,500. Now, between $2,000 and $5,000, my favorite choices are diver watches. Last week, I already covered the Longines Hydro Conquest GMT and the Legend Diver 39mm, the Seiko 62 Mas SJE093, and Tudor's Black Bay 54. Longines made the biggest impact compared to other brands in my opinion. So, in this price range, you can also find the Longines Spirit Zulu Time 39mm. It's a GMT watch introduced in 2022, but now comes in a smaller size at $3,150. It has a 39mm stainless steel case with a thickness of 13.5 millimeters. The watch has an automatic GMT with 3 time zone recordings. It also has a cost certified movement with a 72-hour power reserve. Additionally, it also has a silicone balance spring for anti-magnetic resistance, and the watch has 100 meter water resistance with a screw down crown and lume. The rotating bezel locks into place at every hour indicated, and you can get it on a stainless steel bracelet or a leather strap. Personally, I would get it on the stainless steel bracelet, and it has a fold over clasp and manual micro adjustment. The color variations come in black dial, blue dial, or green with gold indices. My favorite is also the black dial with the blue GMT hand. And this Spirit Zulu Time is a traveler GMT. When you put the watch in the first position, you can change the local hour without losing your GMT or home time. This is very helpful, especially when you're on a plane going to a new destination and time zone. Overall, Overall, Longines had a great year in 2023. They really nailed the value of mechanical watches priced between the $2,000 and $5,000 range. Next up, Grand Seiko has a new collection of manual winding watches that cost around $5,000. There are a few new pieces that caught my attention, but one notable piece is the SBGW 299. It has a sunburst blue dial with a paper fan-like texture. The price is $5,400 and it comes in the 44GS style case. I love the 37mm size. It's not too thick, measuring at 11.6mm, and the lug-to-lug is 42.7mm, which wears great for my wrist. It also has 100-meter water resistance, making it perfect for everyday wear. Now, this is the same case and idea of the SBGW 289 pink dial that came out last year or so, which was a limited edition. Another new Grand Seiko that caught my attention is a new one called the SBGW 305 that costs $5,500. Now, you'll see it's very similar to the SBGW 235, which has a cream dial and blued seconds hand. The new SBGW 305 has a silver dial and a 37mm case that is 11.7mm thick and a lug-to-lug measurement of 44.3mm. It's based off Grand Seiko's first dress watch, which is a classic, elegant style. You'll see that a lot of my taste is that I really like watches with monochromatic or silver or even gray dials. That's because they're easy to match with clothing and they still look great, even if they seem plain to some. The other difference on the 305 is the beads of rice bracelet, which is very comfortable, just like the same one on the 235. And finally, this 305 has a 3-bar water resistant, so it's basically splash proof, but definitely do not submerge it. Now, both watches have the 9S64 caliber manual winding movement with a 72-hour power reserve, and it has slightly above cost certified accuracy movements at +5 to -3 seconds. There's also drilled lug holes on the case for easy strap changing, something I've always liked with Grand Seiko. And while we normally think of Grand Seiko for their 9R spring drive, these are great entries in their everyday time-only mechanical watches. Next up, between $5,000 and $10,000, my favorite option is the new Cartier Santos. This should not come as a surprise. It comes in a new blue or green dial and is available in both large and medium sizes. Like I mentioned earlier, because of my wrist size, I would choose the medium size. It fits me well and it looks balanced. I love that Cartier is bringing more color and dial variations to the medium size as one of my favorite watches for day-to-day. Now, the medium size says 35mm on paper, but it wears more like a 37mm, whereas the large size 40mm wears more like a 42mm to me. And both the large and medium size is in a stainless steel case and has a 100-meter water resistance. They both have the quick switch bracelet system, so you can easily change the strap to bracelet, and you can remove or add links without tools with the Easy Link system. Something different from the white dial version is that the hour and minute hand have lume for better visibility, and they also come with an extra strap in green or blue alligator to match the dial color. Now, between the medium and large, the only noticeable difference is that the large size has a date window at 6 o'clock, whereas the medium size is no date. I've done a video in depth about the Cartier Santos green and blue dial earlier this year, so if you want to hear more about this piece, you can check that out after this video. Now, moving on to the $10,000 to the $15,000 range, I have again two options that I can't decide. First is the Grand Seiko Lake Sua in titanium SLGA 019 priced at $10,400. This watch is like the SLGA 007 from 2020. It was Grand Seiko's first automatic spring drive movement in stainless steel with the power reserve on the movement side, not the dial side. But the new titanium SLGA 019 version has a shimmering blue dial like the original Lake Sua, and it doesn't have gold accents, which I actually prefer. I like the cool color tones. It's in a 40mm case with 11.8mm thickness and a lug-to-lug of 47.9mm. The watch feels comfortable on my wrist. I hardly notice it because it's made of lightweight titanium. The dial is simple and easy to read. It has hours, minutes, and a gliding spring drive seconds hand with a date window at 3 o'clock. And if you flip it over, you can see Grand Seiko's 9R82 spring drive movement. It has a power reserve of 120 hours or 5 days, and it's also incredibly accurate with a deviation of ±10 seconds per month. The movement has a frosted finish, and here you can find some of the best features of Grand Seiko, from the brush and Zaratsu finish case to the applied indices that are diamond cut. So in this price range, my first option is Grand Seiko, but my other option at $10,500 is Zenith's new Chronomaster Sport in blue dial. I especially like this new sunburst blue dial and tricolor subdials. The polished steel bezel measures 1/10 of a second and uses Zenith's El Primero movement. It also has a power reserve of 60 hours, and even the date window between 4 and 5 o'clock nicely matches the dial color. Now, the blue dial didn't get as much attention as other notable additions. For example, in October we had the Susan G. Komen Pink October and Aaron Rodgers Green Chronomaster Sport in November. So the blue dial dial got a little bit overshadowed, and like the other Chronomaster Sport watches, it has a 100-meter water resistance, stainless steel case with high polish and brush finishing, and a bracelet in 41mm size, and wears great on my wrist. All powered by Zenith's manufacturer El Primero chronograph movement with a column wheel. So yeah, I can't decide between these two blue dials from Grand Seiko and Zenith, both around $10,000. Let me know your preference in the comments. Now next, in the $20,000 range, Chopart's Alpine Eco XPS with a salmon dial made a huge impression on me this year. No other watch has left such a strong memory. It's priced at $22,900 in a 41mm case with a thin 8.2mm thickness and has time only with small seconds at 6 o'clock. I always wondered why people like salmon dials, but from here I'm starting to like them more too. Not only does the small seconds make this Alpine Eagle much different from the standard 41mm Alpine Eagle, but this one has two barrels that provide power for 65 hours, and it has a gold micro rotor on the case back. This movement is also cost certified, guaranteeing that -4 to +6 seconds accuracy per day. The watch is also made of Lucent stainless steel, which is something proprietary to Chopard, and has a water resistance of 100 meters. And it also comes with a nice integrated bracelet. On top of that, it's also Geneva Seal certified, all of that for $22,900. Now, several watch companies have their own version of an integrated bracelet watch. People say the Chopard Alpine Eagle looks a lot like the Patek Philippe Nautilus, and they also say the same thing about the Piaget Polo. But in my opinion, I like what the Chopard Alpine Eagle is doing with the XPS version. It really stands out as something that is Chopard's own creation. And Chopard is really showing how serious of a watchmaker they are, especially under the LUC name. And I feel similar with the Piaget Polo. I'm not as crazy for their time and date 42mm version, but I love the Piaget Polo Perpetual Calendar in green dial, or even their skeleton dial. Alright, for my next choice, I would go with the JLC Reverso Tribute Chronograph in stainless steel, priced at $25,000, right in between that range of $20,000 to $30,000. It's in the larger size of 49.4mm, basically the lug-to-lug with a 29.9mm width and a thickness of 11.14mm in stainless steel. The first side features a blue sunburst tribute dial, and it features the hours and minutes on faceted hands, while on the flip side features a skeletonized movement dial with a chronograph. Now, JLC has made a Reverso chronograph before, but the new 2023 Tribute chronograph is different. The original one only had a chronograph on the flip side, while the new one shows you time with hours and minutes along with the chronograph in the retrograde style. That way you can use either dial side for just regular time reading. Now, the skeletonized movement side gets all the love, and it has the hour and minute indicator at top, and below there's a 30-minute chronograph counter in a retrograde style. You'll notice that the central seconds hand on this watch is operated by the chronograph pushers, which might feel a little strange because the buttons are all on the left side of the case instead of the right side, like on other chronograph watches. Another unique feature on the skeletonized chronograph dial side is that you can see the column wheel activate when you use the chronograph pushers. Normally you can't see a column wheel because it's hidden inside the movement, but this watch proudly displays it on the dial side. Now, it comes in both stainless steel or solid 18-karat rose gold with a black dial. I would definitely choose the stainless steel version, but my only big request about this whole watch is please make it in the medium size like the Reverso dual face that I'm wearing, so I can wear it, because this 49mm lug-to-lug is too big for me. Finally, above $30,000 in the no cap range, my favorite watch of the year at the highest price point of $80,000 is the Cartier Tank Normale Skeleton in Platinum. Now, many people online discuss the Tank Normale time only in gold or platinum on a bracelet. However, I prefer this version with a skeletonized dial. The watch has a simple hours and minutes display. However, the hour hand moves slowly, so the time is actually shown on a 24-hour scale. And to indicate daytime, half of the dial is light, with the balance representing the sun at 12 o'clock, and the bottom half of the dial is darkened to represent nighttime, with a crescent moon design on the bridges, with the winding barrel hidden at 6 o'clock. Now, the Tank Normale, a Cartier Privé collection piece, has wider brand cards than the other tanks, like the Tank Solo, Tank Mus, and Tank American, for example. It sits more square than the rectangular-shaped tanks, and this is the original tank watch, but it has a platinum finished brush case and a ruby set crown. The hands are classic blued sword hands, and it comes with a gray alligator strap, which matches perfectly. Now, the watch has a manufacturer Cartier movement with the 36-hour power reserve and manual winding, and it's actually limited to 50 pieces worldwide priced at the high $80,000 price point. Now, personally, the Cartier Tank Normale Skeleton is too expensive for me, but I still think it's a fantastic watch, and seeing it made me realize that the JLC Reverso dual face in medium size isn't so expensive after all in comparison. Anyways, what do you think of my choices? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching this video and my other videos I posted throughout 2023. It's been a minute, and I hope you all have a safe and happy holidays, and I'll see you soon. Bye.